What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, we are going to be talking about some of the major altcoins and going into a little bit more detail about what I was talking about with the Roaring 20s. You guys, there's going to be a lot of awesome stuff covered in today's video, so make sure that you stay clear till the very end and learn as much as you possibly can. You guys, these altcoins are set up for some seriously huge gains on the upside, and we're breaking out, making new all-time highs on a few setups right now, as well as showing what's coming in some of the setups that have been holding back a little bit, and maybe some of the projects you've been wondering if they're going to recover or not. So without further ado, if you're not a subscriber to my channel, click that subscribe button, as well as commenting down below your favorite altcoins for suggestions. Hit that like button and we will get straight into today's analysis. So we're starting off here with Luna, and the reason I want to talk about Luna here is because a lot of people have been saying that we are in a crypto bear market, and let me clearly define what a bear market is. An uptrend is when the market is making higher highs and higher lows. As you can see here, this is Luna. We're clearly making higher highs and higher lows. Here would be the first high, here would be the first higher low, then we have another high, another higher low, and of course lots of little higher highs and higher lows along the way up. We just made another massive higher high inside of this market. The very definition of a bear market is lower lows and lower highs. And by the way, in between a massive bull market, there can be little corrections that can create the illusion of the beginning of a bear market. In fact, many times that does happen, which is why people panic sell in the dip here, why people panic sell in the dip here, because they're missing the bigger context of the trend. So, Luna is making higher highs and higher lows. This is in an uptrend. If we go look at Bitcoin as well, what has Bitcoin done? Again, people are saying, Bitcoin bear market, right? Well, what is the very definition of a bull market versus a bear market? You guys, we see on Bitcoin, we have a high right here, a higher low that formed in 2018. We come up for this massive higher high in 2021. We make a higher low, we make another higher high, and another higher low. Excuse the sticky keys button. And you guys can see here that this is clearly in an uptrend. This is defined as a market uptrend. And so this is important to understand because there's some very, very clear differences between what's going on in the market right now. And for example, if we look at what happened in the top in 2018, where this began clearly making lower highs and lower lows. As you can see, the market rejected at 20,000, formed a support level, and then what's the very first thing it does? Rejects at 17,000. It does not go up for another peak. It doesn't go out extended up above. Also, you can see we have had a parabolic move in Bitcoin, but you can see just how vertical this was right here. Right? And just how much higher we were out above the previous all-time highs as well. If you look over here, look how high we were above the previous cycle. So that gives you an idea of the type of blow off top, the type of parabolic action that leads to a bear market, and also the fact that the bear market must have lower highs in order to be a downtrend, in order to be the very definition of a bear market. So that's really important to understand, you guys. I know it seems like such a basic and simple thing, but just understanding that one thing does give you a lot of strength when other people are getting confused. So that is very, very good to see, that the fact that these altcoins are forming higher highs, they're breaking out, which is exactly what we'd expect to see as well. Now, let's look at some of these other altcoin names as well. So XRP, for example, is one I've been talking about a lot in recent videos. And XRP, for example, has not made a higher high in the big picture like Ethereum has. So this is more what I'm talking about by some of the coins that are maybe lagging behind a little bit. Some people are wondering if some of their setups are maybe not going to break out. They've seen some of the coins break out. They've seen some of them already go up for a new all-time high, and they're wondering if their coin is left behind. But the honest truth of the matter is that XRP is forming a reversal pattern. Well, those other coins have already confirmed their reversals. They're already way above their all-time highs. That does not mean that XRP won't get there. By the way, this is on Poloniex, so you're not going to see good volume. You can see that most of the volume was back here in 2017. If you go look on other exchanges, you will see a lot of volume in this area on XRP. Just so you know, not all exchanges are going to be exactly the same. Some obviously are more popular now than they used to be back in the day. Poloniex is not nearly as popular in comparison to like what Binance is now, right? As what it was back in 2017. Poloniex was pretty popular back then. So that's why we don't see a lot of volume, but that just because other coins have already made their higher highs does not mean that your favorite setups like XRP or maybe some of the coins have not broke their previous all-time highs will not get there. All that it means is that we have a lot of strength in the leaders. We have a lot of strength in Bitcoin. We have a lot of strength in Solana. We have a lot of strength in the coins that have already been breaking out. What was the other one? Avalanche. We have coin after coin that has been making all-time highs and really showing strength and breaking out early. Just because XRP hasn't broken out above its all-time high doesn't mean it won't get there. It just means that we have a lot of other coins showing what's actually coming for XRP. And that was exactly the case in the last bull market as well. You saw coin after coin breaking out, and they would follow each other like clockwork. It was just a cyclical thing. And so there would be a set of coins that starts breaking out, and then you would find that those would be the market leaders, and all of these other coins would come breaking out right after. It has nothing to do with whether the coin is going to break out or not, just because it hasn't yet. It's more about the timing of where the whales are moving their money around. So XRP presents us a huge opportunity. Luna breaking an all-time high, like I said, is not the definition of a bear market. That's the definition of a bull market. And then you have setups like Cardano painting massive bull flags. And the bull flag pattern being one of the highest probability trading patterns. Forex traders trade the bull flag and the bear flag pattern very common. And the reason for that, and it applies exactly the same to cryptocurrency, is because these patterns are a very high probability pattern and they appear often. So in this case, this is a massive bull flag, and we actually can measure a target by measuring from the bottom of the chart to the top of this. And this is a minimum target for the bull flag, but the minimum target for Cardano is back up above $4, right? So you have a lot of people panic selling into the dip down here without the knowledge of basic technical analysis that really takes that fear away. And I love to say the quote that, fear creates resistance and faith creates flow. You have to understand that when people are getting fearful, then most people are going to make decisions based on emotion, and they're going to be selling in an oversold environment. When people have faith, they're going to see opportunity. They're going to see past the common fear of the people. And the truth of the matter is that a lot of the people that trade and invest end up losing money. And it's because of fear. And it's also because they don't understand market emotions. So that one thing, understanding how to take advantage of people being fearful and people panic selling into the dip, it does set you apart. And that's really what I've learned to do by buying these corrections like this. There's obviously still people that are scared of cryptocurrency, but the honest truth is that this market is set up for massive growth. And any good technical analyst is going to see that. So let's go ahead and look at the Dow Jones and Bitcoin here. It's very, very awesome, you guys, to see what's going on in the world right now. I personally feel extremely blessed to be in this time in the world. I know there's a lot of stuff going on that does cause for us to go through a lot of unexpected changes and trials. However, I feel very blessed to be at this point in the world because for me, I grew up always being told about this time, being told that there would be massive inflation, being told that oil prices would be going so high that people wouldn't be able to afford their cars. And so, my great-grandfather warned me of this time period. So for me, it's really cool to see everything happening because I know that I can help. I know that I can position myself, my family, my future family for success in this market and in this world. And even if that doesn't mean that they have $100 million or $500 million, that's really not the point for me. The point is really just being able to help give people a voice of reason, help people grow themselves financially, and prepare them for the crash that's coming after as well. And so this is something that's really near and dear to my heart. I feel very blessed to be able to see what's going on in the world and see beyond the confusion and the chaos and help people kind of prepare for this. So the world markets, this would be on the top. This is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So this is like world markets, right? On the bottom here, we have Bitcoin. Now, in my last video, I showed the comparison between Ethereum, but the comparison between Bitcoin is actually even stronger, in my opinion. It looks more similar. So on the top, we have the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and on the bottom, we have Bitcoin in its last market cycle. Now, why am I showing you these two cycles? Because if we type in market cycle on Google, you'll see here an image of a market cycle, and you'll see that this same market cycle pops up on stocks, it pops up on silver, it pops up on Bitcoin, it pops up on big picture Forex cycles. It literally does not matter what you're trading. So we can totally compare Bitcoin to the world markets because the same market cycle, the same human emotion is being painted on every single market in the world because humans trade it. And so that emotion is shown. And you can see that this euphoria phase that led to the great bear market in 2018 in Bitcoin comes after what's called this optimism phase. There's usually a shakeout. You can see this shakeout occurs where there's like a panic. The market panics, and then this huge optimism, belief, thrill phase, euphoria comes, and that leads to the bear market. If you look what happened, that shakeout candle that I'm showing you happened on Bitcoin between about 7,000 down to 5,000. That was the shakeout that happened right before the optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria on Bitcoin. That same shakeout was the COVID panic on the Dow Jones. Is according to market cycle analysis, that period that occurs right before hope, belief, optimism, thrill, euphoria, and then the depression and the bear market that comes, that corresponds directly to the coronavirus panic in 2020. Just like this corresponded to the crash in Bitcoin that led to its euphoria. So these cycles are exactly the same. It's just a matter of time frame. It's a matter of your knowledge and your ability to apply the cycle correctly. But this is what the professionals in the world see. And so what you can see here is we're like right here. So on the Bitcoin chart at about $9,000, $10,000 per Bitcoin is basically exactly where we're at on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which means a parabolic move is coming that will lead to a massive crash. That parabolic move is part of what's fueling all of this opportunity in cryptocurrency. And that's part of why I'm so excited to be helping people prepare for that. But you have to do it correctly. You can't think that you're just smart enough to perfectly call the top of all of this. You need to know how to apply the cycle correctly so that you actually take advantage of the euphoria, take profits near the top, and be able to handle the correction that comes after. Because most people will take profits now out of fear and end up buying the top later to try to recover on their mistakes. Or if they don't sell now, the retail money will end up drastically buying the top. Yes, there is some retail money starting to get interested in stocks. And obviously there's retail money in crypto. But the type of retail money that leads to a Great Depression or the type of retail money that led to the internet bubble crash in 2000 is nowhere near here yet, and you can see that in the chart. One more chart here before we go here, you guys. I know you got a lot of awesome information in today's video, so huge thank you for tuning into all of this. We're going to go ahead and look at Apple computers here, and I'll show you what I mean, because it is a spitting image of what a market cycle chart forms. So you can see here, you remember how I said the world markets are set up to go into the same thing that Bitcoin did at the end of 2017, where it went from optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria, and then the big bear market that came in 2018 on Bitcoin. That's what the world markets are set up to do here. You can see the world markets, the Dow Jones on top. If we look at Apple computers, how I just said that this optimism phase occurs right before that. Look at Apple computers. Is this not a spitting image of the optimism phase on our classical Wall Street cheap market cycle chart? As the market consolidates in an upward channel and builds momentum, shakes everybody out before it breaks out of that channel and goes in for the parabolic move that I'm showing you here in the Dow Jones. And the Apple computers is very clearly building the same structure. Now, could this channel go a little bit further like this and then break out like this? Absolutely. I'm not here to tell you exactly how long this channel is going to be. Is this channel the same point in the cycle as this market cycle? Absolutely. Everything that I know about market cycle analysis points directly towards this being the exact same point in Apple computers, just it works correspondently to where we're at in the world markets, which makes perfect sense because Apple computers is like the biggest company in the entire stock market. So it's going to look like a very similar representation. It's going to show the same move coming in the world market on the Dow Jones as where we would see in Apple computers. So that is hugely exciting for crypto computers, for cryptocurrency, because very few people realize that we're buying these cryptos on our computers and with our phones, right? So Apple, Microsoft, you cannot forget how interconnected these things are. The internet, crypto, they are very, very interconnected. They work together, and they are dependent on each other. And so that's extremely important to understand as far as learning technical analysis and being able to predict these markets, because most people are not as smart as they think they are. And so once you learn how to apply the cycle, you see beyond that. But, a lot of people would assume that, they are wise enough to know the exact top of where Apple computers is going to stop going up and that they should sell all of it now. But you need to be able to take advantage of the growth as well as the crash that comes. Otherwise, you can't fight the inflation. So, yeah. Anyways, you guys, big things coming in cryptocurrency. I get really passionate about this stuff. So thank you guys for tuning in all the way till the end of this video. Still accepting people in my mastermind program. So click the links in the description below for that. There's still opportunities for 35, 40x, 25x. I even have some setups that are higher than that, upwards of 100 times, and then some extremely high-risk setups in my portfolio that are 200 times and almost 300 times. Somebody asked me the other day if there's like 5,000x, 10,000x. I don't see that. Could be wrong, but most setups to me are around 30x, 45 times, which is ridiculous. If you guys want more than 45 times your money, you should probably check the greed meter in your heart. Definitely 45 times is more than you need. And there's low risk setups that are higher risk setups that are still 100 times or 200 times, right? And you put less amounts in those, but we don't need to try to put all our money in a 5,000x or 10,000x, 45x your money. Is pretty crazy. You have $10,000 and you 45 times that, calculate it for yourself. It doesn't take very much time to figure out that you're going to be doing all right with a 45 times investment. So the mastermind program is awesome. I've got a 10x or a portfolio where I've got setups in there, literally altcoin after altcoin that are all 25, 45 times and even higher in percentage gain. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you what they are, but part of the mastermind is showing that portfolio, showing you why I picked those, how to find your targets, and yeah, really take advantage of this huge parabolic move that's set up in the world markets and in cryptocurrency. So awesome stuff. Help you make your first 100K, your first million. Thank you guys for tuning into today's session. Click the links in the description below for that mastermind, and I look forward to seeing you guys in those future videos. As always, stay profitable out there.